Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. No new episodes till July 11th, 2022, but I am here with you guys to sift through any sort of drama, any sort of barrel-scraping news that comes about. And even though it's a little bit of a quiet front in the world of drama, we've got some love. We've got some love. Isn't that the reason we watch this show in the first place? To watch people fall in love? Well, Becca Tilley did just that. She finally announced who her significant other of 4 years is, Haley Kiyoko. Now, of course, this is a same-sex relationship, and it's 2022. And in most cases, that shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be news-making, but of course it is, because everyone and every culture is kind of at a different place of, progress. We're not all there. So I think Becca could have been nervous to announce her relationship being from Louisiana. And I'm not saying people from Louisiana, hey, you got the Big Easy. There's no more sex-positive place than the Big Easy, right? But every corner of society, from my home state of Rhode Island to Louisiana to even Washington State, has places where we're not all progressed to just accepting same-sex relationships. So she hasn't wanted to discuss it. And hey, I'll never know for sure why. I thought, hey, maybe she didn't want to discuss her relationship because just because she wanted to keep it private, because she already battled these public relationships. Well, she reacts to the fan support she received, and we can hear, in her own words, how much it means to her and how much of a surprise she feels it is to receive that love and support from an otherwise relatively toxic fan base. Let's be honest. We're a very toxic fan base, or at least can be, but then there's a good side where people do appreciate seeing love. So anyway, we're going to get into that right now. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at DNeals and also on Patreon at patreon.com/Dave Neal. I'll be going live this morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. You can always watch those videos afterwards. I talk about the behind the scenes things of my podcast and all the analytics, the revenue streams and all that on the Patreon. So if you have any interest in the inner workings, how the sausage is made, you can come over there to the Patreon. This video that I made on Sunday received more views than in the shortest amount of time than I've ever had in my life. If you look at this, on Sunday while I was on a nice little hike, we had 57,000 views an hour and 560,000 total views. But the video was demonetized. If this video was making money, it would have made about $5,000. I don't get to see any of that. I get to see $92 because it only got monetized in the last day. That's what's been happening with my Johnny Depp coverage, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Very sensitive topics, but either way, if you like seeing the analytics, the behind the scenes of how much YouTubers can possibly be making out there, I discuss all of it on the Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Now, I'm going to share with you guys what was said on the Scrubbing In podcast. And by the way, I haven't been following Becca Tilley closely, which is credit to her. She's not that controversial. We always follow people that are creating mess, and she hasn't done much of that. So her podcast, Scrubbing In, hey, it's a 2-time People's Choice Award winner. They beat Oprah. Good to know. Hey, that's a good credit. I would definitely, I'm barely even catching up to small YouTuber Nick Viall, and over here they're beating Oprah. Which, by the way, Nick Viall in the subscriber race has passed me for YouTube subscribers, but if you combine my other channels, I'm still beating him, and that's a win in my book, okay? Free market, baby. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to share what she said. Very heartfelt. But first, just from 2 months ago, here's Becca Tilley discussing why she keeps her current relationship private.
What are your thoughts on posting your relationship and, over the years and seeing how these Bachelor and Bachelorettes and just people
gorgeous.
In general
They're all
post
pretty.
Publicly about their relationship? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's totally like a to each his own decision. I had a public relationship with my ex Robert, and it was great in the sense that you get so much hype and validation and encouragement and support, but it was this weird sense of pressure as I knew it was ending.
Just so you guys know, Tia is not Raven, and they are also not Becca. These are 3 different people, in case you were wondering. And also, thank you for the input, Grocery Store Joe.
And people having questions like, why aren't you posting Robert? Why aren't you, like all of a sudden these people are so invested, and there's this element of feeling very honored and that people care. And then there was a sense of like, I need to, protect myself and this other person that I'm with. No.
It's fun when you're happy and they're praising you.
Yes.
It's not as fun in sad moments where you have to be like, well, here's our breakup announcement.
Yes.
By the way, I
like-
have to let you guys know, I love that Becca's pushing away her dog. My dog's too big to jump up on the desk. But I love that Becca's tiny little microphone is better audio than all of these produced. I mean, I got one of them right here I'm going to be using for my, I use this when I'm on the road sometimes. Nice little lav mic. You can just plug it right there. And hey, we could just have perfect audio. I mean, I'll go with the $1,000 setup, $100 mic, $800 Rodecaster. But either way, she, as a guest of their podcast, has better audio. Just a stickler for audio. I like to point it out when I see it. Good for Becca. Nice audio. Maybe she should be a brand affiliate for that microphone, whoever she's, it's very small.
You can't pay attention to all.
Or it's a normal microphone and she just has really large hands. We can't be sure to know.
The good, because there's also the bad that comes with it. So you have to take them both into consideration and almost like step away.
$10.
I think that's the healthiest.
Plugs
way.
into your phone.
Yeah, I agree. And so when I got into my current relationship, I was there were other reasons why I chose to keep it private, but now I'm like so protective of it that there's this sense of peace that comes with that in a weird way. But there's also a part of me, like, we have so many cute photos and videos together that I'm like, oh, it'd be so fun to share these. But I think maybe one day, I don't know if I'll ever go full-fledged like I did in my relationship with Robert, but I think I can find that balance of like sharing but not oversharing.
Yeah.
So there it is, 2 months ago, still quote unquote in the closet. And it's a spiritual journey, really. And look, I've been there with friends who have come out of the closet and we go, bro, we would have loved it if you came out years ago, but I know it's your time and your place to do that. And with her friends, they've all known about this and they've given her this grace and this respect to not out them, which sounds like the bare minimum, but it's nice to love it when we see it. I've got personal examples, and you guys can comment yours, of family. Well, on one end, a relationship that was kept not closeted but not talked about for 30 years until their grandparents passed away because they knew they would be judged. So they were just called the friend of the other person. It's such a microaggression that can just really affect you, to think that your grandparents lived in a society that you couldn't be out of the closet. And likewise, I had a family member who passed away, and in hindsight, I was like, oh my gosh, that person was gay. I didn't know they were gay at the time because I was a kid. But in hindsight, I go, oh my gosh, the whole family knew that person was gay, and that person didn't feel comfortable enough in our own family to come out. And this was several years ago, but I never want that to ever be the case in my family, where someone thinks they can't freely talk about the love, freely talk about the crush, the person that they flirted with at the coffee shop. We need to live in that world where we all feel comfortable. And part of doing that is not putting the pressure on the person coming out, but creating the space where we all feel like we're equals. So when you create that space, someone might come out. And Becca did just that. So here's the 2 clips I'm going to share with you guys.
There's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to let Becca take it from here.
Where does one begin?
Where does one begin?
I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, I don't even know where to start the conversation. I mean, if you weren't, I guess, on social media this weekend,
We were.
There was a reveal of 95p.
We saw that.
In the form of Haley Kiyoko. And it's so weird because it's been 4 years of this. We know it's like.
What's better, Becca's teeth or her eyebrows? Teeth are they both equally on point? They look fantastic.
It's just I don't know how to explain
I know. I want to get into your brain.
You can't have nice eyebrows and not nice teeth. They have to go together, right? You can't have just great teeth and then one wonky eyebrow. No. It's a dual package, the teeth eyebrow game. Factor in the dimples, and she's no wonder she's taken.
Brain.
All right. So anyway, she discusses. This is the moment where she breaks down, where she kept her cool on her podcast, Scrubbing in Pod. Give it a follow. She kept her cool. Listen to the whole thing. It's a great story. And this is the moment here where she kind of was overwhelmed and overcome with joy and gratitude. And I get that. When others share so much joy and love in your direction, like at a wedding or whatever it is, there's just this feeling we get where we don't even know how to process it all. We need more of that.
When I made the decision to go public with it, I thought, I have this army of people who have my back no matter what. And like the people that I care about most in the world are our supporters, and they love us. And
here she comes.
And so I was prepared for anything and everything. I was not prepared for the amount of love and support that we got. Like, I just could have never predicted. I made it pretty far before I started crying. I cried all day on Friday. So, but, I think there was a lot of emotion, and I've always felt your support and love. And, Haley has really, made me feel brave, and she was always like, people are going to love you. People love you. And they want to see you happy. And I just am so thankful for you guys and this podcast, like making sure like the pronoun thing was so stressful. Like every time.
The pronoun thing was so stressful. I can imagine. Don't mess this up.
I'm one of us.
You were good at it. Though. You were very good at it.
Who are these other two guys?
That was like a moment where someone actually commented this on the Facebook group. They were like, how amazing that so many people in their life knew and this never got out.
Yeah.
And I was like, the level of like respect that takes for people to keep something like that to themselves and not out us was pretty incredible, like looking at it. Because like a lot of people knew. It's not like it was like...
So there it is, folks. A lot of people knew, and how grateful she was that people gave her the respect and the time to figure that all out. And again, like I said before, creating a world where coming out of the closet either doesn't even need to happen, or creating a world where it's just like, yeah, everyone in my life knew. Everyone who I love is a part of my journey and this and that. And we're not all the way there, but it's one of the fastest growing, I don't even want to call it ideology. It's the fastest growing acceptance with an issue that we've had in our country. I mean, when we'll look back on it, just several years ago. I mean, we've had political, we've had leaders, presidents that couldn't say, oh, I'm all for same-sex marriage because they knew they couldn't vote in that way. Clinton, Obama, like even on the side that claims to be progressive, several election cycles ago, no, we don't think people should be able to, what? So we're still dealing with that. This is still in the short-term history of people like Becca who want to come out. So if you're not there in your family, just know that people are moving into the direction of love. Regardless of what we talk about, we are evolving into the direction of love. We're working against social media dividing us and politicians and the media. We are working against the division that is happening there. But organically, we gravitate towards love. It's a higher frequency, and good for them for sharing their love story. Let me know what you guys think. We're going to have more content coming all day long. I've got live streams happening on the Dave Neal Show today, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. East Coast, and more content. We'll see you in a little bit. Share that love. It's the Brooklyn way. Bye, everybody.